Welcome to the Predictive Playbook. This is Thursday, the 5th week of NFL, the 6th week of college football. We're going to talk college football here, but we're going to be right back with another segment for the NFL edition with Bobby Krivitsky, one of my favorite guests, a very intelligent mind, and I hope everybody likes my Circa Millions hat. We're going to get right to it here. Cincinnati now has risen to number 5, and they're taking on a pretty lowly team in Temple, and they're favored by 30 points, and Temple's 3-2 record, but that's not anywhere close to the caliber of competition Cincinnati has played. Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, looks like a pretty sunny day, 79 degrees. Tell me where to bet this game, Bobby.
Yeah, there's no doubt about the outcome of this game, John, but going off Bet Online, you can get the Owls at plus 29.5 for minus 110. So that spread, it's just too rich for my blood. I think that Temple is going to lose by a lot. Cincinnati will win comfortably, but not by that much. I don't see a 30-point victory in the cards for the Bearcats. They're 0-1 as a 29-plus point favorite this season already. They don't have a good track record in that regard. Now, they did beat Notre Dame, their first ever road win against a team in the AP top 10, and now they get an easy opponent. That suggests that whether it's at the start of the game, there'll be a letdown, or they'll get up big and take their foot off the gas, which further leads me to believe they're not going to win by 30 points or greater. So to me, their playoff hopes are certainly still alive, and they're going to win big in this one. They've got a phenomenal quarterback under center in Desmond Ridder, who's already thrown for over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions, showing that he takes care of the ball. They've got balance in the run game, led by Jerome Ford, an Alabama transfer, who's rushed for 367 yards and 4 touchdowns. They're averaging 38 points. They're only giving up 14, but that means if it holds up, they don't cover. So I just don't see it going down that way. I like the Owls at plus 29.5.
Yeah, I like that play too. And Cincinnati would be smart if it's 35-0 to take the starters out. Let Temple get a few points like we saw Penn State do with Villanova. It doesn't hurt to do that. Next game up, we have the Michigan State, number 11 Michigan State team, 5-0, one of those vulnerable 5-0 teams that historically sometimes runs into trouble. Traveling to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, 3-2. This is in Piscataway, New Jersey, starting at noon Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. Michigan State about a 5.5-point favorite. Over under 51. Where are you heading in this game, Bobby?
I'm cashing in Michigan State minus 5.5. You can get it for minus 115. I like Sparty in this one. Both teams, Mel Tucker and Greg Schiano, the transfer portal has helped expedite their respective rebuilds. Schiano, we know that he recruits New Jersey well. That's going to go a long way and is already starting to pay dividends. Mel Tucker is proving that he can keep kids from his backyard now. These are two physical, ground and pound offensive approaches. The difference is that the Spartans are more likely to hit on explosive plays, John. So Rutgers defense, I get that they're more battle-tested. They held Michigan to 20 points. They just played Ohio State, but got shellacked by them and gave up over 50. Meanwhile, Sparty's averaging just under 38 points per game. My expectation is this is close in the first half, and then in the third quarter is when you start to see Michigan State pull away and ultimately win by more than 5 points.
I'm with you, buddy. I am definitely with you. I think they're one of the Big Ten teams that's 5-0. That's not going to lose and not going to lose to the spread either. Then we move to the MAC conference, which is always a fun conference. I enjoyed those games last year immensely, especially with Buffalo and that ground attack they had. But things are a little different this year. Buffalo 2-3, taking on Kent State, who is also 2-3. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time can be seen on ESPNU. Dick's Stadium, Kent, Ohio. Kent favored by 6 at home. Over-under is the usual MAC conference total of 65 points. They're usually higher, but 65 for this game. Tell me where I should bet my dough on this game, Bobby.
John, I had to give you some action for today's show. I like the Bulls at plus 5.5, minus 105. Again, that's according to Bet Online. Buffalo, they nearly beat Coastal Carolina, who was 15th at the time, or 15 now. They were 16th at the time, excuse me. They kept it within a touchdown last weekend against Western Michigan, who is the best team in the MAC. The Golden Flashes, meanwhile, despite all the hype about their offense, they're averaging 15 points per game against FBS competition. I can respect their schedule, but nonetheless, this is a ground and pound offense that's averaging 50 runs per game, and they're about to go up against a Bulls team that just held Western Michigan to 3.6 yards per carry. So my prediction is that ultimately Buffalo holds firm in the trenches, and at 5.5, they cover the spread.
I like that play too, Bobby. I'm with you. I'm with you here. Last game you have on tap here, 10:30 at night Eastern Standard Time. Sun Devil Stadium, Tempe, Arizona. Arizona State favored by 13. I had them last week as my Pac-12 game of the month, and they came through pretty much manhandling UCLA, covering the spread by 23.5 points. Wondering if it's going to spill over to a Stanford team who also is coming off a huge win. Stanford 3-2, Arizona State 4-1, and ranked 22nd with Arizona State favored by 13. Total 51.5. Who should I bet on, Bobby?
I like the Cardinal at plus 13. Tanner McKee has re-energized this entire team. He is now tied with Liberty's Malik Willis for the most touchdown passes without an interception. As you just alluded to there, they beat Oregon. It's their third win against a top 25 team, also dethroning USC and UCLA. Herm Edwards has done a phenomenal job with Arizona State. Jaden Daniels, you can see him growing more comfortable in the pocket. That's a bit concerning if you're like me and want to back Stanford in this one. But nonetheless, Arizona State's point differential here is that they've scored 17 points. They're 4 points higher than the spread in that regard. They're, 2 through 5 wins here. They're, 2 of their 5 wins, came against an 0-5 UNLV club and a 1-4 Southern Utah Thunderbird squad. So not much to take stock in that front. I just don't trust Arizona State to cover a 13-point spread against Stanford. And I'd look for a little bit of a letdown from the Cardinal as well after that win against Oregon. I understand that, but nonetheless, I just like the aerial attack and the way that Tanner McKee is leading that squad. So 13 points, I don't see Arizona State covering that.
And I don't either. That Cardinal team, you're absolutely right. They're ignited, and they are nowhere close to what we thought they would be preseason. Much, much better, and it's a great story there in Palo Alto, California. So, Bobby, thank you for these 4 great bets. He's a guy to tail, guys. I've been doing it, so make sure you do too. So on behalf of Bobby, myself, and the Predictive Playbook shows, Sports Memo, and Wager Talk, may all the wins continue to be yours.